Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. I am Jen Sugarmeyer, your host of Mindset in the Morning, where we go live 5 days a week at 6 a.m. Central Standard Time, talking all things mindset. Why do we do this? Because there is a holy trinity of health. It is mind, body, soul. And we know that we're supposed to exercise. We know we're supposed to stretch. We know we're supposed to meditate and be a part of the religion, whatever that means for you. But what are we doing for the mind? So as a society, as a globe, we've really honed in on body and soul, but your mind also needs to be exercised every single day. So this is exercising of the mind so that when you know better, you can do better, because life is constantly throwing things at us. And when we stretch, when we focus on the body and we stretch and we're agile and we're able to, move our bodies, then when things happen, like if you're in a car accident, for example, your body is able to take that impact more because the muscles have been stretched. That's what we're doing to our mind, because we are constantly dealing with things. We're bobbing and weaving through life. All you have to do is turn on the news and you know exactly what I'm talking about. You could drive into work. You could come home at the end of the day and greet your family and all of the things that come with the things that your family was dealing with. There are always situations that are going on. There's always some level of chaos. So it's very frenetic. Our lives can just become a lot. And when we understand how to control up here, it makes the a lot seem manageable. We're able to get through it with ease instead of going into this state of what I call suffering, which is fear, frustration, stress, anxiety, resentment, boredom. We're able to control all of these and stay in a beautiful state. Where we want to be is we want to have peace. We want to have clarity. We want flow. We want joy. I have yet to meet someone where they're like, yeah, I don't know. I just kind of want to be angry all the time. Yeah, I'm not sure that this happiness thing is for me. I think I'd rather be pissed off and stressed out, maybe a little anxious all the time. Yeah, I'd prefer to be over here. I've yet to meet someone who says that out loud. We as humans, as diverse as we are, as many colors and races and all of the things, sizes, all of that, we all want the fundamental things. And that is to feel good. We just want to feel good. That's what we are. That's what Pavlov's hierarchy of needs. We go after what are our needs because we want to feel good. So without going down a rabbit hole on that one, let's go ahead and get started for the day. If you've not yet hit that like button, if you've not yet hit that subscribe, go ahead and do that now, because that helps grow this channel, which means that it helps the algorithm to reach more people. And that is the goal of this, is so that we all grow together, because they say all ships rise with the tide. So if this is bringing value to you, this will bring value to others, and we can all come together and live in more peace and have more joy and understand our minds, and we all grow together. So hit that like, hit that subscribe, and let's go ahead and get rolling. Today, we are going to talk about letting go and how that actually ties into peace and how we can have more joy in our life when we just learn to let go. And we come into this all of the time. And one of the things that we need to understand in this, in learning to let go, is something called control, which we all want control. But there are things that we control in life, and there are things that we do not. And I'll speak from personal example. I didn't understand the difference until I really took the time, paid attention, and did the work to figure out the difference. Sure, on the surface, I can tell you there are things I control and things that I don't control. I can spit that fact out real easily. It took me probably a good 6 months to a year after making it something that I was looking out for. It took me probably about 6 months to a year to actually get it, because I was kind of just saying it for a while. I wasn't looking for it. I was just saying it. So there's a Serenity Prayer, and call it whatever you want. Just call it a saying if prayer weirds you out. But help me to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. It's called the Serenity Prayer. And I've said that 287 times before I actually understood what it meant. And it means that there are things that I don't control, and give me courage to understand those things and to let them go. And then of the things that I do control, help me to, be able to change those things, or understand what those are in my world. So just because you hear it one time, it doesn't mean that all of a sudden it goes into practice, that it becomes this thing that we're aware of. The mind, we have to exercise it. We have to practice these tools in order for us to really understand them. If it was just as easy as hearing something and then it changed our life, then that would be really easy. We have to hear these things. We have to understand them. We have to apply them. We have to learn them. We have to live them. We have to breathe them. And that's the work that you do in order to change your life. So this idea of control, that there are things that you don't control. Let's look at some of the things that you do control. You control you. You have control over yourself, your emotions, your reactions, your actions. You control the things that you say. Things about you, that's what you control. What about everything else? Not really. Nope. You don't control other people. You don't control their decisions. You don't control their actions. Now, it doesn't mean that you can't influence some things. Maybe you're a parent. You're like, well, I'm giving my kid guidance and support, and, telling them, hey, you should do this or you should do that. But at the end of the day, that child is responsible for making those decisions. So he or she, whereas, they're listening and learning. And sometimes, we don't always make the best decisions. And that happens. That's okay. But who owns that? Whomever made the decision. So when you're looking at what you control and what you don't control, start here. Start with you. And everything else we don't. So, but even though we don't control these things, here are some examples of how we might see these play out in every single day life, where we are trying to control things that are not in our control. Ready? Okay. You're driving into work. Somebody cuts you off. You get angry. It is telling your brain, I don't like the way that person drives. I have a belief that this person should be driving a different way. So I'm going to get angry. You are, in your mind, controlling that situation because you have a belief that this driver should drive a different way. And because you can't control that other driver, you get angry. If you could control all of the drivers on the road, none of them would drive that way. None of them, because it's irritating. It's irritating when somebody's on their phone and not paying attention. It's irritating when somebody is in the left lane and they need to exit, and so they just cross 4 lanes of traffic. It's irritating when somebody hits your vehicle and you don't expect it, they don't expect it, and all of a sudden now you've totaled your vehicle, you've hurt your neck, and you've spent thousands of dollars because some stranger wasn't paying attention. It's irritating. But you know what? You can't control that. You can't. So what happens when you're putting your energy into this? It's actually controlling you. It's controlling you. So when you put your energy into something that you cannot control, 2 things happen. 1, it's wasted energy. Like there's nothing you can do about it. Nothing. As much as you want to turn back time and say, okay, this car accident, let's just go back 5 minutes and I will know to avoid this person. We can't turn back time. What's done is done. So you can't change anything. So it's a waste of time. And if you are trying to control things that you can't control, like the situation, then you go into a state of suffering. You're mad, you're anxious, you're fearful. What's going to happen next? Is my boss going to lay me off because I'm late? Oh my gosh, I have this presentation I was supposed to do, all the things. And we start to go down these rabbit holes. What if instead we took that exact same situation and we said, okay, there's nothing I can do about this accident. There's nothing I can do about what just happened, but I can control my response. I can control my actions. I can control my emotions. And although maybe your first reaction is, I want to punch this person in the face because they're a moron, you say, probably not the best way. You see, when we are able to catch our emotions, when we are able to get in front of a situation and say, hold on, how do I actually want to handle this situation? How do I want to show up? What is going to make me feel good? Does this serve me? Remember those 4 words, that question you should always be asking yourself? Does it serve me to go punch the person in the face? Does it serve me to yell at the person? Does it serve me to get angry? Does it serve me to be fearful of my job? I don't know. You can answer that question, but I will say probably not. I can't see why it would. What are the things that you can control in that situation? You control yourself. You control calling your boss and saying, hey, look, I was just in an accident. Not going to make that meeting. Oh, that presentation I was supposed to give, we're going to have to postpone it. And we get so anxious over these things sometimes because we think, oh my gosh, I'm going to get fired, or am I going to give this presentation by the side of the road, or whatever. When you make a decision, the world is then going to reform. Time is going to keep going regardless. So if there's something that you can't be present for, like a meeting, the meeting is going to get rescheduled. It's going to go on without you. Just let it go, because you can't control that. All you can control is right here and right now, being in the present. You can control if you get angry at this person. Maybe this person was on their phone. But you know what? Nobody died. Let's assume in this scenario, nobody died. And this was a good lesson for this person, because you know what? Had this not happened, it could have been much worse. And now this person has learned. And yes, you were part of the learning, but sometimes we're shrapnel in this world. I've been shrapnel before, where someone's going through their own thing, and yet I get hit with debris, literally or figuratively. It happens. It's part of the grand design of this world. And I can't control all of those things. I can't. So now this person knows. And how much more would that land if you had a civil conversation with this person versus getting angry? Look, I'm really shook up over this. I saw my life flash before my eyes, and I have family at home. Please, next time, put your phone down and just say what's on your mind in a nice way. Do you know how much more receptive people are to being nice and kind versus you're a jerk. It doesn't make you feel good. It doesn't make them feel good. They put up a defensive wall. Are they even hearing you? Or if this choice that you've made to show compassion, but also be vulnerable and say, hey, this is how this might have impacted my life. If this had been worse, what do you think is going to resonate more with that person? So you can change the way that you show up and you can have a positive impact on this world when you're able to catch your feelings, your emotions, your reactions, your actions, all of those before they slip into something that you don't want. But you have to have a level of awareness. Awareness is key for everything. That is step one, is as something is happening, and it doesn't mean that your first reaction wasn't, you're an idiot, you're a jerk, how did this happen? And you went into all of these states of suffering. That is very natural. But you're the one that's in control. And if you don't take control, that is when, as I always say, are you happening to life or is life happening to you? If you are not taking control, then life is happening to you. Something happens in this world and you react. You react however you allow, however it just flows. It doesn't mean that that's what's serving you best. It means that you got angry and you allowed it to continue. It means that you got anxious and you allowed it to continue. It means that you got angry and you allowed it to continue. So whatever it is, it's okay when you feel those. We talked about toxic positivity last week. It's not that all of a sudden we have to let's just suppress those feelings. No, acknowledge them, see them, feel them, and then change them. Say, hold on, what do I control in this situation? I can choose to go yell at this person. I can choose to be a jerk, or I can call my boss, say I'm going to be late. I can call the tow truck. I can call my insurance. I can, and rattle off of things that you can do. Because all you can do is control the things that are within your control. And when you put your time and energy into things that you cannot control, it's wasted time and it puts you in a state of suffering. So how do you find more peace? Learn the difference of what you control and what you don't control. It's an art. But once you learn the difference between the two, then you're able, as life is happening and you are turning on the news and you're driving into work and your kids are coming home with all kinds of things that have happened throughout the day, you will know where to put your energy. And that's only in the things that you can control. So practice. Ask yourself, is this something that I control? Ask yourself these questions. This is exactly what I did. But it took me 287 times of saying, this Serenity Prayer and wondering, is this something I control? Until I finally got it. And I said, holy moly, there are things that I legit don't control. And yet here I am trying to control them. And when you learn to let go, when you learn the difference between the two, you will find so much more peace and happiness. So I encourage you, as you go out into the day, where are you putting your attention into things that you can't control? Start to ask yourself, do I control this? Do I not control this? And always be asking yourself, does it serve me? Does it serve me to think this way? Does it serve me to be this way? Does it serve me to do this? Whatever it may be. But learn the difference of what you control and what you don't control, and you will find more peace. You will find more happiness, and you will find more time. Who doesn't want more time? You're welcome for just giving you more time. We can't control things that are out of our control. It's wasted energy. It's wasted time. And it puts us in a state of suffering. So start to notice when you go out into the day and become that person that you want to be, which is here in a beautiful state. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. That helps share this message. And I will see you back here, same time, same place tomorrow. Remember, there are things you control and things you don't control. And it's up to you to figure out the difference. But once you figure it out, it becomes a lot easier. All right.